Hello guys, Connor here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the perfect grade Strike Gundam from the series Gundam Seed. This is my very first perfect grade, and we are going to be looking at the parts today. This is part 1 of possibly 3 of the perfect grade Strike Gundam 160 scale review. When you finally have this thing assembled, it's really impressive with the amount of parts that are here, and it's just a very huge kit. Like I said, this is my very first perfect grade, so I had no idea that everything would be this ginormous. Honestly, I thought it would be like smaller, but yeah, I could have, guessed because of the size of the box, but this thing is just incredibly huge. And as you can see, I decided to throw in some weathering and battle damage. Not a tremendous amount, it got really dinged up like most of the battle damage that I do. But just, just a little cuts, scrapes, and just weathering. No bullet holes, no explosions, nothing. But since this is part 1 of my review of possibly 3, let's go ahead and review the parts. Starting off with the leg for this thing, it's just very huge, and the movement on this thing is very impressive. Starting up here with the thigh, once you bend the thigh here, you can see that the armor is starting to shift. I call it break open armor. And also, when you do bend the knee, you can see that a pipe will come out, and I decided to paint that as well. And towards here, if you can see right here with the thruster, if you pull this up, you can see a little bit of the armor is moving, revealing another thruster that is right there. It's just very impressive. And with the ankle guard, you're not going to get a lot of movement other than up and down. The toe here, however, you can probably bend a lot. Mine's painted, so this is 100% painted, so you're probably not going to get a lot of movement with mine. And also, there are pipes here, which you bend the toe down, and these pipes will move up and down in the slots and whatnot. But like I said, mine are painted, and they probably dried up inside the pipes, and that's why they're not moving. So pretty much that's all there is with movement wise. However, if you want to show some detailing here, which you can go ahead and paint those, you can just remove these little, I guess, covers here, and you can just display that with the armor showing and some piping that you do. Very nice leg, very impressive. And of course, with other details, I decided to throw in some battle damage. Like I said, nothing too major, just some weathering here and there, some scrapes, and that's pretty much it. No explosions, nothing severe like I normally do. And plus, this thing is just very huge. This is the biggest Gundam I have on my shelf so far, and just the size of this thing is huge. It easily towers over Master Grades, plenty. The waist unit here is really nice. With the front skirts, they're individual, so you can artic them any way you want. You can go all over the place. Same thing with the side skirts, they can pretty much go all over the place, just a little bit forwards and backwards and up and down. The back skirts are also articulated, so you can have them any way you want. And there is a slot right here. If you want to mount the beam rifle in, you can do that. It's weird how you're able to actually mount the beam rifle into his back with the perfect grade, but they don't offer that with the Master Grade Strike with the remasters and whatnot, which is a little weird. But anyway, if you do want to be able to pose him with the beam rifle mounted into his back, then you can go ahead and do that. If not, you can just close that up and make it flush. And also, you can reveal these, revealing the armor Schneider knives, these little doors here, the side skirts are the sheaths. And that's pretty much it for the movement. Besides, there's one part I almost forgot. If you move this piece right here out of the way, you just move it down. You can move the leg joints forwards and backwards, I guess, to make it like the Gundam stand taller or something. I have no idea. And also down here, there's a little slot right here that you can just, little piece right here that you can move, revealing a peg if you get the Sky Grasper expansion pack with this kit. So that way you can have the Ale Strike and a Sky Grasper, and it comes with a display stand, and you can mount that in. This, however, does not come with a display stand, so that's pretty sad. For details, as you guys can see, I weathered the heck out of it. Well, not the heck out of it, not as badly as I normally do. And I also went in and I detailed some piping. Really nice, really solid actually. This is a really solid waist unit. Just a solid kit overall, and it's really detailed with all the pipes that you can do. Just very nice kit. And it obviously looks more realistic with the battle damage that I decided to add on. With the torso here, you're going to get some pretty decent movement with the neck piece up here moving forwards and backwards. The arms here can go up pretty far, about that far, and forwards and backwards, well, not so much backwards, but they can go about that far forward. The hips down here can also move a little bit side to side, but mine's having a little trouble because either I damaged it somehow or it's just because it's painted. Also, with some gimmicks here actually, you can, well, besides breaking that off, you can just lift that piece up and then pull this down, revealing some nice piping that's in there, and closing it back up, and you just attach it back on there, no problem. Pretty simple. Also, if you want to, you can just slide these little hatches here down, and you can just put little some detailing in there if you want to, but since it's not going to be opened a lot, so I'm just not going to even bother. As you can see down there, I did some detailing in there with some gold, and also for one more little feature that is pretty neat, the cockpit can open, and when you pull this little blue tab out, if I can get it, the cockpit will actually slide out and revealing a tiny little painted figure of Kira Yamato that is in there. And actually you can see him pretty nice without the flashlight. And of course when you close it back up, you just push it and the cockpit will go back, and push that backwards, and that's pretty much it. As for detailing, I did some panel lining a little bit, not all that much, and I also did some battle damage here and there. Like I said, not a tremendous amount, but just a little bit, just to give it some more effect. And it looks pretty good. With the shoulders here, it's pretty nice. I mean, I have it open here because I actually took the liberty of gluing these pieces here. I'll explain why I did that. But as for movement, this little gate here will move up and down, and these hatches will open, and also this little piece up here will move. And the connector right here that connects it into the torso unit will move forwards and backwards. Now, with detailing, as you can see, I did some pipes in there and some battle damage and pipes. Now, the reason why I have this open is because I decided to glue those pieces in there. The reason being is because there's always a problem with trying to get this open, and whenever you do, it'll always snap off and you'd have to reattach it on there. So I took the liberty of painting that on just to see if it'll hold up when I want to open the door and display it with the detailing right there. But if you want to so choose, you just close this up and then push that down, and then it's closed. Now, with this play right here, I'm wondering if we'll be able to get, I don't know, say a expansion pack with the release of the Launcher and Sword Striker for this thing. That'd be pretty neat if we actually got that for perfect grade scale. But with the detailing that I did with the battle damage and of course some decals on there, it looks pretty good. And I like the color separation that's right here. This is a white piece and this is kind of like a light gray, I guess, I don't know. But I do like the color separation. It makes it a lot more realistic, especially with the battle damage. With the arms here, these things are really impressive. I love the arms on this kit, especially with the detailing that I did up here. But as for movement, of course, you're going to get the joint up here that connects it to the shoulder, moving 360 if you ever so choose to be. And of course, when you bend it, you can see some break open armor right there, and some more break open armor that'll be popping up right here. Just very impressive. And it also reveals a tiny silver pipe that's right there, if you guys can see it. There it is, whenever you open that up. And also, the hands can bend up pretty well, and they can rotate 360. They can also bend here, and I love these perfect grade hands. I wish Master Grade could have, all the Master Grades could have these. Each and every thumb and finger is articulated. Thumb, finger, get it right, people. But as you can see, it is individually articulated, so you can move them all over the place however you so choose. And the thing that I like the most is that how detailed it is. Like here you can see the index, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. If you guys can see, yeah, you can see some difference in there. And for detailing, I panel line, put the decals on, and of course weathered and whatnot. And also there's a bit of movement back here. If you lift this piece right here up and then pull this out, you can mount the shield on there and then close it back up, and so that way it has a solid connection, which I'll introduce into the accessories department in the next part of this video. But once again, the arms look really incredible. This is personally my favorite part of the kit, is the arms and hands and everything. It looks really good, especially with the battle damage. I think I did a pretty good job on the battle damage. I'll explain what I did with that. But of course, the real winner here for the perfect grade is the head unit. It looks really nice with the detailing that I did. No movement on this thing whatsoever unless you have it fully assembled. For detailing that I did panel lining, of course, and I painted the Vulcans here silver, weathering, and of course with the cameras here, I painted it metallic blue. Everything is painted on this kit, and including the eyes. Now you're probably wondering, why the heck did I paint the eyes when it comes with an LED module? Now, the one thing that I could not do was get the LED unit to work. I couldn't do it whatsoever, so I decided just to paint it. The bulb worked, however, but just when I had everything assembled, it wouldn't turn on, so I just decided to not do that. I can make my own little LED thing if I wanted to, but I don't have the right parts. But if you did want to insert the LED in, you just take this off. You take off the white armor, and then you take this little gray piece off, and then you can just plug it into the back right there, and that's pretty much all there is to it, and you can just seal it up and have that thing light up. And it looks pretty cool with it lighted up, but I wouldn't know because since it's painted, but personally I think it looks better when it's painted. And of course I went in there and did some panel lining, but this thing just looks really cool. It looks like a Gundam head. I just love the design of the strike and just the look of it. It looks really, really good. And of course with the weathering that I did on there, this kit looks like it's seen some action. So that's going to wrap up part 1 for this kit with all the parts. Join me for the next part where we'll be taking a look at the accessories and, of course, when we finally assemble this kit with the articulation once it's finally assembled. Thank you guys for watching and stay tuned. Peace, guys.